Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2017 CR 5709 State versus Michael Bassett. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Melissa Albin for the state.
Charles, excuse me, Charles Blunt for Mr. Bassett.
And are you Mr. Bassett?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and State's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Michael Bassett who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2017 CR 5709 for the offense of aggravated assault, serious bodily injury on August 24th, 2017 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
The state is going to proceed on a few of the violations, Your Honor. The third, number 2, on or about the first day of June 2018 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Michael Bassett did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
And on or about the 23rd day of February 2018 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Michael Bassett did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that?
True, Your Honor.
And on the next page, on or about the 26th day of January in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Michael Bassett did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that?
True, Your Honor.
Lastly, on or about the 18th day of October 2017 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Michael Bassett did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court officer, supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
We'll waive the rest from.
Any objections to the waivers?
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I forgot that there's a supplemental.
Yes.
So I withdraw that statement and I'd like to read a couple more from the supplemental.
Okay.
Number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Michael Bassett did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2018 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that?
True, Your Honor.
And we'll just go to the last one. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Michael Bassett did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, and June of 2022 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that?
True, Your Honor.
And we'll waive the rest.
Any objections?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, and 5? The court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, sir.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, and 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then the court will find the following true: 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, and 5. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor. We're asking for revocation and for the court to sentence him to TDC. Mr. Funk is going to ask for something different.
Yes.
I am. And I'd like to, for the purposes of this hearing, I'd like to call my client as a witness.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Michael Daniel Bassett.
All right, you may proceed.
Okay, Mr. Bassett, you've heard the district attorney read off multiple violations that you had of your probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And those violations all occurred, some of them back as far back as 2018.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
then some of them were back in 2022 when you stopped reporting to probation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you actually stopped reporting to probation prior to 2022. That's, I don't want to mislead the court. You stopped reporting to probation when?
I believe it was July 2018.
Okay. So let's talk about what happened in 2018 and why did you at that time stop reporting to probation?
I had gotten a positive urinalysis test, and I got scared and didn't report after that.
Okay. And since then, let's talk about what changes, if any, have you made in your life, good or bad? And just kind of tell the court, you know,
Your Honor, a lot has happened since then. I've quit drinking completely. Uh, I don't do any sort of illicit drugs or anything like that anymore. If I were to submit to your analysis today, I could pass your analysis with flying colors. I've started my own business, a landscaping business. It's doing very well, very profitable. During that time, one of my children has gotten sick. She had cancer when she was little, and it came back over the past couple of years, and it just got really, really bad. And so she's terminal right now, and so it's been very tough with that. And but I try to just go day to day, trying to make sure she's okay, and make sure that my ex-wife and the children who are still with her are okay, and I pay for all of their needs and everything. And I'd like to think of myself as a pillar of the community. I try to help my fellow man boost himself up and not bring anybody down. I do free jobs for people that need them. I believe that if I was to remain in the community, that I can continue this effort to help everybody else around me, as well, in turn lifting myself up. I think that's a positivity for everybody, and I'm very, very proud of myself for that.
and you and I have discussed, you know, kind of when it comes to probation, the one thing that's easy for everyone to do is just to show up. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to show up,
Yes,
and you stopped.
yes,
And as I understand it, the reason you stopped was because you knew you were going, at that time, you were going to be dirty and you were afraid you were going to get arrested.
yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
And
And the pandemic happened, and just one day turned into the next day, and turned the next day, and just
now you
I have no excuse. I have no excuse for that.
and you're not here you're not here today to make
Absolutely.
excuses. You've come and you've told the
La primera fila, la tercera fila, first row, second chair. Red, orange, up. Red, red. Keep moving, orange, orange.
All right, you may continue.
Thank you, Judge. And when you and I met, I guess it was several weeks ago.
Make sure there's an empty chair.
We discussed that, you know, the judge, of course, she's been in the business, if you will, for many, many years.
Yes, sir.
She's heard, I don't want to say a sob story, but
Navarro?
she's heard this type of thing a lot. She has to be able to make a decision on whether or not you're being honest with her and truthful with her. Now, you mentioned that if you were to take a UA today,
Yes.
you'd be clean.
Yes, I would.
And I think that's important. And how is it that at what point in your life did you realize that you had to turn your life around, and what was it that kind of helped you? What was the impetus to that?
When I realized that I needed to fix this and not look over my shoulder anymore, for not just for myself, but for my children, my family, for my personal well-being, and accountability, most of all. I served in the military for 7 years in the Army and in the Navy. I served overseas, and during that time, honor, courage, and commitment, and those are big things that I think they're a big part of my life, and I can't call myself honorable if I don't take care of this like I'm supposed to. And I have to have the courage to do it, and the commitment to stand by it.
The judge was, you know, she has lots of things. She could, the first thing, obviously, she can tell you, I appreciate your honesty, but you blew it.
Yes, sir.
know,
Yes, sir.
And she could easily just have you go where they came from. And
Yes, sir.
dress you in one of those fancy outfits and take you to jail, send you to prison. She could give you the chance to perhaps get back on probation, take the drug test, prove to her that you are this person that you say you are.
Yes, sir.
There's lots of things she could do. If she gave you those chances, would you welcome that opportunity and prove to her that you are this changed person?
Yes, sir, I would. I put myself at the mercy of the court.
Is there anything else? The letter we gave to her, who was that letter?
From my wife.
And is she present here today? Is
Yes, sir, she's.
there anything else you'd like to tell her?
I'm ready to face this like I should have done a long time ago. As I said, I put myself at the mercy of the court and the mercy of you, Judge. Thank you for hearing me out.
That's all I have, Judge. And if you have any questions, we certainly don't object. And certainly, and of course, the
Yes.
state as well. I'm sorry.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Bassett, I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
You said that you have a child that's sick. I'm very sorry to hear that. How old is that child?
She's now 18.
18. And so does she live with you?
She lives with my ex-wife,
Okay. And where does your ex-wife live?
here in San Antonio.
Okay. So are you involved, I guess, in her care and
100%.
her doctor's appointments and all those things?
Yes.
Okay. And does your ex-wife, is she employed?
Yes, she has a cleaning business.
Okay, so she is able to earn money and support your children.
She does, but not enough to pay for all the bills. My veteran money goes towards all of that.
Okay. Is there health insurance that's involved in
Yes,
the care?
TRICARE.
And now you mentioned your military service.
Yes.
Were you honorably discharged?
Yes,
or-
I was.
So, I mean, I'm very sorry to hear about that, obviously. But where have you been for the last
Here in San
several
Antonio.
years? You've just been in San Antonio,
Yes, ma'am.
and it never entered your mind to turn yourself in, 2 years after you stopped reporting, 3 years after you stopped reporting,
It
4 years
did,
after
every
you
day,
stopped reporting?
Every day, it just, I was scared. I didn't want to go back to jail because everything that was going on. And
Would you have been dirty during those times?
No.
So when did you get clean?
About 6 months after I stopped reporting, when I found out my daughter was sick. I stopped everything. It stopped my life dead in its tracks. Quit. I had no choice.
Okay. Obviously you have a criminal history.
Yes.
So I know that the court is going to be interested to know about that. You're on probation currently for aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury, which you pled guilty to. And when that happened, you had already been convicted of family violence
Yes, sir.
3 times?
Yes,
Is that fair? Okay. Do you recall being on probation for an assault family in 2006 and then your probation was revoked?
yes.
Okay. And it was revoked because you picked up another assault family and then you got convicted on that one as well?
I believe that's what happened. I'm not sure. It was
Okay.
a long time ago.
You were sentenced on the same day for them, which
Okay.
is why it looks like that. And the offense date on the second one is while you were on probation for the first one. And then you also had a subsequent assault causing bodily injury to a family member that was filed as a felony in 2014, but wound up getting pled down to a misdemeanor. Do you remember that? Okay. And so you were convicted of that in 2016, and then that leads us to the offense that you're here for today. So, what has changed in your life? Obviously, you have a history of a propensity for violence, and you're saying that's not true anymore.
No,
So what has changed in your life that has gotten that out of your system?
My children are watching. They're watching me. And I can't be that same person. I'm not the same person.
Besides your 18-year-old, how many other kids do you have?
I have eight in total, counting stepchildren. They range in age from 20 down to 12.
20 to 12?
Yeah.
12 is the youngest? So all of these children have, minus the offenses that occurred in the early 2000s,
Mhm.
all of these children have been alive while you were committing these other offenses?
I didn't know my stepchildren at the time, but yes, they were left.
Nothing further on it.
Any follow-up?
And
I have questions. So you were placed on probation before my time, because this is from 2017. I see in the stipulations as a part of the plea, there was to be restitution to the complainant. Does anybody know if there was actual restitution ordered and whether that restitution was paid?
To Mr. Hearn?
Yes.
Sir. I don't believe he ever showed up to claim restitution. He was. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't believe so.
Ms. Abrams, do you know whether or not there was restitution due for the complainant, Mr. Hearn? All right. So how did you come to be arrested for this motion to revoke?
Jaywalking.
People should always follow the law.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, but for the jaywalking, you never would have come in.
I was, you're right, Your Honor. It looks like that, but I was getting ready to take care of it because I had enough time and money set aside.
When were you planning on taking care of it? Because, and the reason why I asked that is because it appears to the court that but for this jaywalking, you never would have come in.
Yes, Your Honor. I agree. It does look like that. I planned on doing it after Christmas, to be honest. It's just because my daughter was sick. I didn't want to get locked up and something happened to her. And I would never be able to forgive myself if something happened to her. I've been locked up.
Okay. All right. Probation, what is the recommendation? All right. Any objections to the court reviewing the court summary? Okay. Thank you. All right, so other concerns, you know what's listed here?
No,
It said a supplemental report was sent to the court in regards to the probationer continually testing positive for methamphetamines and failing to provide a UA. TAP assessment was conducted, which recommended the probationer submit to random urinalysis. A TAP revision was made for the probationer to be recommended to the intensive outpatient treatment. So it says the probation then absconded once the MTR was filed upon not abiding by the conditions of the court. So it appears here that the previous judge, which I think would have been maybe, would that have been Hilbig or Angeline?
Angeline.
Hilbig,
Yeah, Angeline.
in
Angelina.
2000 and
17.
Joey, wasn't it?
Yes. All right,
Okay.
so according to this, if you would have came in, they were just going to recommend intensive outpatient treatment.
He has asked if he could make one more statement to the court.
Sure.
Your Honor, if I'm to be incarcerated 2 months after I'm incarcerated, my VA payment pay would stop, and the insurance for my kids would stop, the health insurance, and I would really like to try to avoid that somehow, but I don't know what it is that I can do for the court to keep that going. I'm not sure how that would be possible.
All right, so what I'm going to tell you is I understand the reasons why you wouldn't return, and Mr. Bond will tell you, we've all had clients who one thing happens and they just decide not to show up. Then at the last minute, they want to show up, they got their life together, and sometimes the hands are tied. I take into consideration the fact that you have a child, but what I can tell you is nobody's seen you. And that's one of the things you have to do is report. All right. So I'm gonna grant the motion. And the court will find you guilty. Does anyone wish to speak toward sentence?
Well, I'd ask that you sentence him 2 years.
Mhm.
But most importantly, if it's at all possible, I'd ask that you allow him, if there's any way to remain out on the monitor. His daughter is terminal with the stage 4 cancer, and if he loses his insurance, there's nobody to pay for it. And that's, I don't know, I know it's a big ask,
Well, so
but is there any way we can at least allow him to turn himself in after his insurance? I'm very concerned about his daughter's medical expense. That's the cost of cancer care in America is.
oh, I know, yeah.
And if that insurance is not available for this poor girl's, there's nobody to pay for the hospice or anything else, so. I'm asking for 2 years, which is the minimum, and he understands that's a possibility, but if. My bigger concern right now is this 2-month period, so if there's anything we can do. If you want him to report to this court in person every week or every other day or every day,
I'd be willing to do
he'll
that.
come to court every day. Anything we can do to appease the court in the interim, I'm just asking the court for that
State,
on his behalf.
I understand the ask. I haven't seen any medical records, but I don't think that they would lie about this. So I'm fine with that if the court's fine with that.
well, the laws have changed, and let me just tell you how the laws have changed. The laws have changed that if somebody's only option is prison, then I have to take them into custody to go to prison. However, if there is no objection to the court finding violation of conditions 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, and 5 true, and rescinding the finding of guilt and thinking about what the court will do in sentencing him at a later date, then the court can do that.
That would be fine with us if we could put him on monitor in the meantime.
All right, so the record is clear. Both parties have given the court something to consider in deciding on whether or not the defendant should be revoked or not. And you have given me something in addition to what the court already was informed of. So would there be any objections to the court finding violations 2, 2, 2, 2, 5, and 5 true? And thinking about what an appropriate sentence would be.
No, Your Honor.
No judge.
And so the record is clear, and it is clear for the legislatures that because the court, without objection, is not finding the defendant guilty, then there are options. The court could deny the motion and terminate the defendant unsatisfactorily, or the court could sentence him to prison. So with that being said, the court is going to take under advisement both parties' recommendations. But I am going to require that he be on GPS, and we will set this for the court to make its decision in the new year.
Yes, Your Honor.
So if I'm still here, I'll make that decision. If I'm not here, somebody else may make the decision. You understand?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Normie, can you give me a date, late January, please? All right.
Yes, he's on GPS, so he's already on GPS.
All right, and what are the conditions of his GPS?
It's a partial for work and for medical appointment.
All right, so he's going to continue on GPS as a condition of bond for medical and employment only. All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give him a reset form.
Thank you, Judge.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You're on.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
You too.